Hey, what's going up, guys? What's going on, guys? It is Friday, 7 o'clock, and today is a very special day. It is our 5-year anniversary. Five time. Five time. That's another wrestling reference. So, we're doing a stream where, well, basically, I am cooking dinner. Oh, I forgot to get my phone here so I can see the chat. Okay, wait. 1 second, you guys. I'm going to grab my phone real quick. Hold on, be right back. The cat's got the butter. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. Um, yeah, today is our wedding anniversary, 5 years, and we're gonna celebrate. We've had we've had a very full day today. Got a bunch of stuff done, and we had ribs. We went to go get some ribs for lunch at our favorite rib place here nearby, and I'm actually making some ribs too for dinner because we like ribs. So, um, because we were busy today, we were out. We also got some stuff done that we needed to get done with our car. So it took all morning to get that out of the way and done. So I wanted to have some really nice ribs, braised ribs for dinner. So what I actually did was start braising them. They're sitting in a crock pot right now, and they've been braising in there for since about 1 o'clock or so, or maybe even sooner than that. So they've been in there for a good long time. Hey, Apesman, how you doing? Glad to see you. What's going on, Bark Dog? Warm pouches all around. Thanks you guys for stopping in. Um, just going over what I've got so far. The ribs been sitting in a crock pot. I rarely use a crock pot because I don't know how to use it. But been sitting in there for. Hey, thank you, Bark Dog, for the bits. Really appreciate it. Um, every bit helps. So thank you so much. Leaderboard, there you go. Somebody try to take that away from you. Thank you, Apesman. Oh, 27 bits. Thank you so much, Apesman. Leaderboard, hype for Apesman. There we go. You guys are already in a bit battle, so let's see who's gonna win out by the end of the stream. So I've got crock pot, got the ribs in there, and today I finally, while we were out and about, we stopped by Office Depot and I got myself an extension cable for my camera, my webcam. So now I don't have to keep moving stuff around. I can just move the camera, which is sweet because I don't have to get all of my gear and move it over to the thing. I can just grab the camera, move it over, and it's going to make it much easier. So really happy about that. But we've got braised ribs going on right now. They've been braising for about 7 hours. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be very tender right now. Smells awesome in this house. If you have checked out my caramelized pork belly and egg video on YouTube, that was the basis for what I did with these ribs is what I used in that recipe. But I added a couple things in there to change it up a little bit and give it a more of a Hawaiian type of feel and flavor to it. I added some pineapples, Hawaiian sea salt in there, and a couple of other things. I really should write things down so I can remember it. But smelling really good. I'll give you, let's see if this is gonna work. Quick peek into the crock pot here. Let's see. All right, crock pot revealed on the ribs. So I've got a bit of scum on the surface to skim off, but let's do that right now while we have this opportunity. But let me skim it off first. That sauce, the braising liquid, I'm gonna take that and turn that into a sauce that I'm gonna serve the ribs with. So, and I've got some star anise in here, and some garlic cloves, got peppercorns, and I know I've got some pineapple in here too, just to try to give it a little different taste than what I did with the pork belly. But this has been simmering and just braising for about 7 hours. And if I grab one of these ribs here, that's completely cooked and they look really tender. So I'm gonna get a sauce made from this braising liquid and put this all together. But the first thing I'm gonna want to do is make my dessert, which is Haupia. And it's a very simple dessert, but I'm not doing it from scratch because I've been holding on to this thing for quite a while, and I want to just make it for you guys real quick. It's really easy. It's basically thickened coconut pudding, basically, and you chill it, let it set, and then you just cut it into like cubes, or you can turn them into rectangles or anything like that. They're really good, and I've had this for a while, so we're just gonna use that, and we'll let these ribs keep simmering away and doing their thing. But the first thing we're gonna want to do, as I reset the camera, the first thing we're gonna want to do is make this, because it's gonna have to sit and chill. So it's really easy instructions. You just take this package. All you need is this package of mix and then 2 cups of water. Basically, let's see, boil the 2 cups of water, add the package and mix until, reduce, add, okay, let's read this again. 1 package of the Hawaiian coconut pudding mix and 2 cups of water. Boil 2 cups of water in a medium-sized pot. Add the entire package of coconut pudding mix. Reduce to medium heat and stir continuously and vigorously until mixture is smooth and creamy. Pour mixture into a medium-sized bowl or square pan. Then let mixture cool and set. For best results, place in the refrigerator for an hour. So that's what we're going to do right now. So let me see. I'm just going to get blurry all of a sudden. Okay. I'm gonna go grab a pot and get that set on the stove. We'll move everything to the stove, and then I will also grab a dish to put this in once it's nice and chilled. and we'll be good to go with this. Get my little whisk so I can get some nice whisking action. Okay. Let's see, I will switch to this, move the camera. I mean, I think this works, being able to move the camera like this and not really have to take as long as I normally do when I switch things. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Okay, so I'm gonna get 2 cups of water really quick. And really weird thing right now. Got some weird issue with my balance. I've got this, any direction I tilt my head, I get nauseous and I get dizzy. And I'm having like vertigo or some issues with that. And it's not fun. Alright, got my water on high. We're going to just let that heat up. The burner is on the right setting for the smaller burner. So that's gonna heat up real quick. So yeah, I think today's been the worst day of having this weird balance issue. And like I woke up this morning and I was on my side, I rode to my back, and as soon as I rode onto my back, the room was just spinning. Right now, with me tilting my head to look up, I started getting dizzy. So it's this weird thing. I don't know, don't really know what's going on. I did see it could be something about my inner ear. I might have some something off with that. And we did some yard work today, which wasn't as easy because of bending over and stuff. I immediately got nauseous and wanted to throw up. But we got it done, and we're really happy and excited that we got it done, which is cool. So that's one thing we can check off of our list of things we've been wanting to get done. But yeah, after the stream, I'm going to have to try to figure what this is and get it worked out. Yeah, we're kind of thinking the same thing, that it's an inner ear, some issue with my inner ear right now. And hopefully it's not going to be like a serious thing and it'll pass or whatever. But yeah, it's been irritating at most. Like, you know, just I'm sure if I were to kind of lean over the cutting board right now, I'd start to get nauseous. Though, what could the worst of this be? Can't be worse than, well, I guess it could be worse than starting a stovetop fire. Alright, water is starting to boil a little bit. I think we want to know. Don't we want to know? Do we want to know? I don't know. I mean, this has only happened about 2 or 3 times where I've had this issue where I've woken up and I've had that. So, oh, brain tumors. Well, you can't have brain tumors because you don't have a brain. Well, yeah, it feels weird, but I've had it happen before and it kind of passed real quick. This is the first time it's been like an all-day thing, so I don't know, but you know, I'm gonna kind of drain out my ears and stuff like that after we're done with this. So hopefully that'll clear it up, and then it's not gonna be a problem. But as we switch over here, we're getting some bubbles and starting to do its thing. So what I'm gonna do, let's see. No worries, I don't carry a medical degree, but I do have a culinary degree. Alright, so we got our water starting to boil here. So let's again repeat the instructions, as we don't want to have another Twinkies issue by not reading the instructions properly. Boil 2 cups of water in a medium-sized pot, add entire package, and then reduce to medium heat and stir vigorously until mixture is smooth and creamy. Pour into a medium-sized bowl or square pan and let it cool. Okay, so we're gonna look for room in our refrigerator. We can make this happen. Let's see. Okay, that should be plenty. Just to make sure, I'm gonna check with this, my dish. Alright, that's looking good. So, got my little dish here, and water is boiling. So I'm gonna add the entire package, and then stir vigorously. And I don't know if you guys have had this dessert before. We had this on our honeymoon on Maui. And okay, let's turn this to medium first. We had this on our honeymoon on Maui, and it was the other people, we had it at a luau, and the other people didn't seem very interested in it, and I was eating it like crazy. It's a very sugary coconut taste, but it's so good. Right now, as soon as I dropped it in, I could smell nothing but coconut right now. So stir vigorously until smooth. I'm sure this has like cornstarch in it to as a thickening agent. They're asking you to do it this way just to help activate that cornstarch and thicken it up, since it is boiling water. Just to be sure, let me grab this. Stir continuously and vigorously until mixture is smooth and creamy, and then pour mixture into medium-sized bowl or square pan. Let mixture cool and set. For best results, place in the refrigerator for 1 hour. Okay. I think we're getting... It's pretty smooth, right? It's smooth to me. And that's the best we're gonna get it. It doesn't seem like... well, it doesn't seem like it's thickening up any more than this. So... I'm going to go ahead and pop this into the pan. Yeah, it's quick. I mean, it's bubbling, so you can't get any hotter than that. I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm just going to transfer this into our little pan here. And then pop this into the oven and let it chill. So there's our dessert. I'm gonna get this in there right now. let it chill. So, dessert's done. I'm gonna turn the camera around and get a quick peek. Oh no, no need right now. The pork ribs are looking good. I'm gonna switch this back over real quick. Boom, move the camera. And let's see where that's at. Oh, this extension cord thing is pretty sweet. I mean, I don't have to take a lot of time to get everything all set up on the other counter. Alright, so what we're going to be using, got some asparagus. We're going to use that just, I think, like I've been doing, just asparagus spears, cook them in a little bit of butter. The potato and the parsnips, those are going to go together for our parsnip mash. And I was trying to think of I didn't want to make like a gravy for this mash, so I wanted to do something a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is I've got some grape tomatoes, and I'm going to roast them in the oven. And I've got these mushrooms here. I'm going to chop up the mushrooms and saute those. We'll have these roasted tomatoes in the oven. Get a pan sauce out of that and use that for the mash, the parsnip mash. So, I mean, we're going to see how that goes together, because we're going to have our ribs with that. The sauce right now, I mean, the braising liquid tastes really, it's a little tangy. It's got some brown sugar in there, so it's got a lot of that sweetness from the brown sugar. Star anise, so it's got some licorice kind of flavors there going on. And peppercorns, so it's a kind of sweet licorice and like a tangy pineapple. If you can kind of get an idea and sense of what those flavors would go together and be like, that's kind of what it's tasting like right now. So with that braising liquid, I don't know if I'll reduce it, but I will thicken it and have it be a sauce that we can plate up with. So for right now, let's see, what can we do first? We can get our parsnips prepped up. And one thing about parsnips is WifeBot loves parsnips. So I wanted to do parsnips because of that. And they taste really good. And it will kind of play along with that same licorice type flavor that we have going on with the braising liquid and the ribs. So just gonna give this a quick what is the word? I can't even think. What am I doing right now? I am getting the skin off. Peeling. What is this? A peeler, yeah. Peeling the skin off. And then I think I will do the same with the the potato. Just to, usually I'm fine with having the peel, the skin, the potato skin in the mash, but we'll just go for a little cleaned up look on the mash. And it was interesting that the cashier at the grocery store, she saw the parsnips. When she rung us up, she saw the parsnips and was telling us that it seemed like everybody was buying parsnips that day, which was weird because I've never thought of parsnips as something that people would go and purchase often or anything like that. But I guess people were buying parsnips in good numbers if the cashier was going to make a mention of that. So I don't know if there's some health benefits that just came out or something about parsnips, but they seem to be the hot item at the moment. Parsnips are good. I mean, I like the flavor of them. They smell really good, and they taste really good. So we got 3 nice sized ones, and we're gonna get the flavors combined once we make this mash. I don't have any cream as well, so it's gonna be more of a butter mashed parsnip, but that's gonna be perfectly fine. So I got our little knife, just gonna trim the ends, and parsnips are, I find that they cook, well, I mean, it depends on your cut size, but I find that they cook a little quicker than potatoes, but I'm cutting these small, and you know, that will affect the cook time. But we're doing a nice little mash, and we'll get everything all prepped up. We've got our dessert is sitting there in the fridge and chilling out while we get all this other stuff going. I kind of wanted to do a short stream to show you guys how I was preparing the ribs, but we didn't have time this morning, so I just threw it together, and hopefully you guys will be okay with that, because it's, you know, it's kind of like I just did it without the proof that I did it, I guess. Like, I could have grabbed some prepared ribs or something and just threw that in there, heated it up, and been like, yep, I made this, guys. Parsnips. I don't use parsnips that often, and when I do, it's either roasting them or I turn them into a mash. So there are, I'm sure there are a lot of other applications that can be made with them. A nice puree, something. But, you know, on their own, they're really good. I don't know why my cutting board is sliding so much. Here's another little fun thing. I got approached by a company, I guess a food equipment company, and interesting thing about it was that they contacted me on Instagram and offered a free a free lemon lime squeezer or juicer. And they contacted me and asked if I'd like to get one for free, and well, they started off saying, we like your YouTube videos, we want to send you a free whatever zester. It's the top rated not zester, juicer, the manual press juicer, and they were saying they're the Amazon rated #1 product for that right now, and if I wanted, they would send me one for free, and if I did like a review or posted something about it on social media, they'd really appreciate that. So I was like, all right, cool, that's interesting. That's like the first real offer that I've gotten, and you know, I think we're gonna see about getting it and seeing how good this product is, because they have a lot of reviews, but a lot of the reviews talk about how they're like 5-star reviews and stuff like that. I don't pay attention to the 5-star reviews. I always check the 1-star reviews to see what, what can be wrong with this product. And the majority of the complaints have been that it is cheaply made and breaks quite easily. Some people said it broke within a couple of uses. Some people said it broke after like a month. So I think I'm gonna, if they do send me it to test out and stuff, I'm gonna use it for at least a couple weeks, or just give it a nice crash course and see how well it does. And if it does break, I might just respond and say, thank you for the offer, for the free juicer. Unfortunately, the product broke, and thank you for that, but there's issues with this product. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see where it goes from now. They wanted my email address, which again was kind of weird because they contacted me through Instagram, but I've got my YouTube has an email address you can contact me at, so it was kind of weird that they didn't just automatically go through my YouTube to get in contact with me. But they do have like 2 reviews or something like that on YouTube, but they're old reviews, and they don't seem to have a strong online presence. So, I mean, in some ways I'm kind of hesitant about it, and I don't know if I want to be attached to like products that aren't so great. But, we're gonna see how it goes. So let's see, I'm gonna grab another pot. Grab a pot out of our, I'm gonna wash this real quick. No, I'll grab our other pot. And, because I like mashed potatoes, and we got a lot of potatoes and parsnips, so I'm gonna use a lot. But I'm gonna wash this real quick. And then get started on our mash. So Bart Dog, I saw you playing Minecraft earlier when I was getting set up to stream. I saw there was like a story mode now, and it seems like, I don't know, I haven't played Minecraft in forever, but it seems like they're kind of, do they have more than just building and more to the game now than just building and fighting the creepers and stuff like that, or exploring? Because what it looked like to me was like that it was more of like an RPG type of thing now, or something, or at least that story mode. Because I've seen it on the Xbox when I would play. That there was that story mode, and it might have been free or something like that. Regular survival? Well, heck yeah, I think you sound like a hardcore Minecrafter with a response like that. Minecraft is fun though. I mean, building all the stuff and just hanging out and building, exploring and building. I think it's pretty fun. Gonna get some water boiling so we can get our mash. And this isn't gonna take long to put together, really. to the stove. Oh, bottom dry. Yes, it is. Oopsie. You go into the zone and it's like semi-meditative. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. It's a pretty fun game, and you can kind of go on autopilot sometimes when you just go and start building your stuff together and all that. I think it's a pretty fun game. It has like basic game mechanics, and I don't know, anybody can play it and get pretty good at it. So I just haven't played it in a very long time. Oh, let's see. Okay, I'm going to get this camera set up over there because, well, let's see. While that's boiling, or starting to boil, I should just cut up these mushrooms too. So let's see. We got our grape tomatoes. I'm going to rinse these off real quick, and I'm just going to rinse them off, and then I'm going to roast them in the oven. Just I want to get them blistered and just get more of that roasted flavor out of these grape tomatoes. And then I'm gonna cut up these mushrooms. Cut these mushrooms up, and then saute the mushrooms and try to get a lot of flavor out of them, a lot of color, and I'll make a roux to thicken it up a little bit, and then combine this, maybe a little garlic, but just make some sauce out of it. So we can add that to our parsnip mash. So I'm gonna rinse the tomatoes off real quick. Get our mushrooms. Clean those up a little. I've been playing Fortnite again, and I have gotten 2 kills in one game, so that's really good for me. I generally don't get a kill, so now I'm doing doubly as good as I normally do. So let's see. Just pulling the stems off of here. And then I'm gonna rinse them real quick. I'm only rinsing them because they are a bit on the dirtier side. I know people will brush the mushrooms off and all of that, but when you think about what mushrooms grow in and can be grown in, you would want to wash them too. Plus, the other thing is, it was kind of a debate and an argument at work about cleaning mushrooms, because one of our supervisors, he was all about, no, you don't need to clean the mushrooms. They're safe. And me and my coworkers were like, they're not as safe as you think. He was always the one that would have to be right. So he's like, no, it's perfectly safe. So we'd show him the water that we would rinse the mushrooms in. And you know, it's cloudy. It's got little dirt, little bits of dirt in there and everything. And my coworker was like, all right, if it's so safe, drink this water. And he held it out to him, and he just walked away. So it was more of a do what I say, because I'm the boss. I'm the boss! He's not working there now, so it's alright. Okay, we got enough mushrooms here. So all I'm going to do is just give it a quick chop. well, slice, I guess. And we'll set this aside so we can saute them when we need to. But again, this is just really simple stuff. I say that so often that I kind of feel like you guys will be like, oh God, here he goes again with the simple talk. Simple Jack. But yeah, eventually I'm gonna try to do a lot more like baking and stuff. And all that stuff that I just don't like to do, but I want to do that. Just to, for one, you know, it's been a long time since I've done a lot of baking, and it would be nice to refresh my memory, see how well I can bake still, if at all, and just improve that part of my cooking, because it is a very weak point of my skill set. Okay, we've got that all set. That's a lot of mushrooms, more than I expected. Are you talking about that, the cake you had done, your family traditions cake? I mean, I thought it came out nice. There were, I think the only thing was that the custard was too loose, but other than that, I think everything else was fine. But you know, that is something that you kind of figure out as you go. Oh, did you hear it? Did you get it from your family? Was that what it was? Okay, we've got everything there. Okay, so I will now move the camera over to the stove and then get it set up so you guys can watch the boiling pot of water or the ribs. I think, does your family have high standards for that cake? Alright, let's see. Alright. Oh, that's a lot of pressure then. Okay, got some potatoes. I'm gonna drain them out. Then we'll add this. We'll add the potatoes into this pot. Well, it's kind of like when, oh, water's hot. It's kind of like when I cook stuff that is something my family does often, and, you know, it's right away, oh, you did that wrong, or you were supposed to do it like this, or that's not the way it goes, stuff like that, but, you know, I think that's just the way it is. I mean, they've got standards, and that's how it's always going to be. I don't think anything's going to change that. But doesn't stop me from still making it the way I do. Oh, wow. Hey, we would have taken it home. Bark Dog, we would have taken it home. Me and wife would have loved to try it. So, yeah. For sure, we would have taken some of that home, tried it here, and enjoyed it. So, remember that next time you make it. The potatoes? I can't, Oh wait, what am I doing? What do I need? I need a spoon. Oh, not really. So this is on high. Oh, now it's on high. Disposed of it properly, as in finished it off. Okay, let's see. Got eating cake daily for a week. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so our oven is preheated, and I'm gonna grab a heat tray. Let's see. Having this extension cord has now proven difficult now that I need to get here to grab my tray. And I'm off balance now because of this whole ear thing. And I'm getting nauseous. Okay. I've got my tray. So I've got my tray here, sheet tray. And just gonna grab some of these grape tomatoes. I'm not gonna need too many, and I was thinking of cutting them in half, but I think I'd rather just have them burst, and then I'll kind of softly break them up in the sauce. So just a couple. We're not gonna use all of the mushrooms either, so a little bit of where is the olive oil? Alright, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil over the top, just a little bit to help it get some color on there, help it with the roasting. Okay, just rolling them around. Look at this. Okay, back to the pot. Now I'm going to pop this into the oven. A little sprinkle of salt. How long does it take total from beginning prep to on the plate to eat? This dish, Magnite. I've had the ribs braising for 7 hours right now. But what I'm doing right now is the quick, easy part. That's not going to take as long. I started maybe 7:15, 7:30. Oh hey, the pizza stone is still in here. So I got our dessert sitting in the fridge right now to chill and set. There's mashed potato, parsnip mash we've got going right now. And what is it? So this parsnip mash is going right now. I'm gonna add the parsnip. And then once this is done, I just gotta make the braising liquid. Gonna turn that into a sauce. And this could probably be done. If you have the ribs going, you can probably finish the actual cooking of everything else within an hour. But, me hanging out and talking with you guys extends it a little bit. We also do have the asparagus. That one of my favorite things to do, very satisfying, is to just break off the asparagus. So now we have this that we're gonna cook them up, saute them up in a little bit of butter. So we have that too. So while the mashed potato is going, we've got our grape tomatoes in the oven. I can start sauteing the mushrooms to try to build up some color and some flavor on that, so that when the grape tomatoes are ready, we can add that in, and then combine the mushroom and the tomato. I got some white wine. Might do some garlic real quick to add to it too, and turn that into a sauce. With this dish, I mean, it can probably, if you take into account the ribs, it's hours. It'll take like half a day or something. Not half a day, but you know, it'll feel like half a day. I'm gonna take a peek at the ribs. Smelling really good. Really, really good. And I'm just gonna look at the ribs. Picking up some nice color. I wanted them to get a lot darker. And I mean, they are starting to pick up some color, get a little bit darker, but I hoped that they were going to get much darker, but it'll be alright. Once we make the sauce, I can actually coat them in the sauce as well. And thank you, Magnite, for popping in and joining the conversation. Really appreciate it. So this is just going to keep going until they're done. I can hear the grape tomatoes already sizzling. That's probably because it's on the pizza stove. We need some pans here, so I'm going to turn down the heat to medium on these potatoes. Then I'll get some pans cleaned up so we can put our sauce together. And then get our asparagus also ready to cook off as well. Mashed potatoes is something that I enjoy making. It's one of the things that my family really likes that I make is my roasted garlic mashed potatoes. And coincidentally, my niece, who I've shown her how to make it, she, out of the blue, she messaged me about it. She wanted to know how to make it. So, you know, I gave her the instructions again, and she made it. But I was like, you know what? Why don't you just watch my video on YouTube? All the instructions are right there. So she's like, okay. She goes to my YouTube channel and watches it. But then it says, my notifications tells me that I got a new subscriber, and it was her. I was like, wait a minute, you just now subscribed to my channel? She's like, I forgot my password. And then she makes the mashed potatoes, but instead of cream, she added cream cheese. And I was like, what did you just do to my recipe? She's like, I love cream cheese, and I saw people use it in mashed potato recipes, and I wanted to try it. She said it came out really smooth and really nice, but I was just, at first I was like, that is wrong. You don't do that to my mashed potatoes. But then, you know, I'm like, well, it's her mashed potatoes now. She's got her own little method to do it, so that's great. She learned how to do it, and she learned to add her own little twist to it. So that's one person that I've kind of taught how to cook now that wasn't doing it before. She made it her own, which is awesome, and I'm sure she'll make it again. I thought she was making it for Easter, because that was, I think it was on Easter Day or maybe the day before, she had asked me. So I thought she was making it for Easter for our family having a big gathering or something. But no, she just said, I wanted mashed potatoes and I wanted to make your mashed potatoes. So, you know, I guess that's kind of cool that she was hungry for the mashed potatoes that I would make. Because I don't think anybody has tried to make it since I moved away. And it's one of the first things that I'm asked to make every time I go to visit. So I guess that's a compliment. A compliment to my cooking. we've got our pans. I'm gonna check these potatoes because the size of the potatoes, the way I cut them, they're really, they're smaller size, so they'll cook faster than if they were cut larger. And that's mainly the reason why I do cut these so small, just so that they'll cook along a lot quicker. I'm going to take a fork. I don't ever use a knife to check for the doneness of potatoes or anything like that because knives are sharp and they're intended to cut through things, so it's not as accurate. So this broke apart. I'm going to taste it. The potatoes are about there, and as you can see, this parsnip, I can just mash it like that, so that's ready too. So cutting off the heat, taking this off the pan, gonna drain it real quick, and then we're gonna make the mash. Butter. I'm gonna use a good bit of butter to make the mash out of this. So let's see. I'm gonna need to use a little bit of plate assistance to drain this out. So basically what I'm doing with this, I'm gonna put the plate over the edge here and let it drain and catch the potatoes and parsnips so they don't drain out. Little kitchen trick, I'm sure a lot of people know it already, but just something to know and maybe use. You just gotta be careful because the steam will come up off of the pot and it'll get really hot. So you will have that potential to burn yourself. So maybe don't use it unless you have a high tolerance for heat, which I have because of the years I've been in the kitchen. Which I sometimes forget that is not a normal thing for a lot of people. I'll grab hot stuff out of the oven or whatever, and it won't affect me like it would another person because I've been doing that for so long now. Basically the nerves in my hands and stuff are kind of dead in a way that I don't feel the pain as I would if I wasn't cooking all the time. Alright, dry these in the pan. There is still a little bit of water in there and moisture, so just going to let it dry that out. And I'm going to grab some butter. And our dessert is looking like it's done already. Hasn't even been an hour, but well, it's still warm, so it's still warm, the dessert, the Haupia. So we're just gonna let that completely chill. So we're getting our butter, and I'm just gonna, got one stick of butter here. I'm probably gonna add most of it to give it some flavor, but I'm gonna add them in little chunks so it'll be easier to melt and incorporate into the mash. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this on low and just start mashing this. Once I find our masher, where would it be? There it is. Okay, so just gonna mash this gently, because I still want to get this nice and fluffy. But the only thing we're going to add is the butter. So we don't have cream, but that'll be all right. I'm going to check real quick our, I'm going to turn on the fan. We don't want another incident with the fire alarms. Okay, get our little mash going, and add some more butter. And like I said, I'm probably going to add all of this butter in here. Make it nice and buttery. Okay, we'll see if that's going to be enough. If not, we'll add some more. So right now, again, I'm just going to melt this into the mash and then just mash it gently and we'll give it a taste. See, it's pretty much mashed up now. Oh hey, I didn't peel the the potatoes like I said I was gonna do. Alright, well, here we are. Okay, so that's pretty much mashed up. If it's got a little bit of texture to it still, that's fine. I don't mind it all that much. So we'll take our spoon here, get that off of the masher, and I'm gonna grab some salt and pepper real quick. New pepper. Just a bit of pepper, some salt to bring out the nice buttery richness in here. Just add a little bit at a time. And I'm going to stir this kind of to fluff it up a little bit and add some air into there. And, well, basically whip it up. But you gotta be careful not to do that too much or else it'll get gummy on you. If you overwork it, it's gonna get gummy. Okay, let's see, get my little tasting dish that I can now reach without my laptop being in the way. We'll try this really quick. See if it needs any more butter. Add some more butter. Parsnips really kick it up and make it really vibrant. You get potato in there, but I mean with the parsnip it adds another depth of flavor to it. Just add some more butter. So let's see. Butter, butter, butter. A bigger chunk. So let's just stir that in and melt it into this mash. So the mash is pretty much done. We're good on the mash. Gonna get some, what is it? braising liquid, we're still going to need to thicken it up a little bit. We've got our mushroom and tomato sauce we're going to use. Alright, the tomatoes are starting to blister. Alright, our mash is there, but we do want to make sure it's going to taste right. Alright, it's got a nice buttery richness to it, so I'm just going to add a little bit of salt to bring it out a little bit more. I don't want to put too much butter and then just turn it into a overwhelmingly buttery mashed parsnip and potato. I want you to still be able to taste the potato and parsnip and enjoy that without it being overwhelmingly buttery. So we'll save that. We'll leave it there and move on to, well, let's see, let's get this on the back burner. I added a little bit of salt, pull the flavors out of here. I'll set this on the back burner. Alright, there we go. It's pretty good. Alright. Let's see. I'm going to take that need for pans. Okay, this pan, I'm going to take some of this braising liquid and thicken it up. So let's turn this, get some of this braising liquid out of here. It smells really good. This braising liquid is really, it's like red, a nice red hue to it. Once I get it in the pan, I'll show you guys. And I'm just going to heat it up. Well, I'll taste it first, heat it up, and oh, is it mittens? So, funny thing with the cats, we got a new basket for them. It was for our other cat, Meowser. And we were fully expecting that he was gonna just take to it and, oh yeah. Thanks, Aceman. That's the burner I'm gonna put this pan on. I'm standing right next to it, but yeah, thank you for the safety tip. It's like you're watching a child cook in the kitchen now. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can see the color of it, but it's got this really nice red color, which is going to look great on the plate. I want to get some more, because this is going to be for two dishes. And when I plate this up, I'm gonna sit down, enjoy this dinner, and celebrate. let's see. Thing is, I'm getting some peppercorns in here, so I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. Peppercorns in your sauce. I like the peppercorns. Sometimes getting that nice bite of from the peppercorn. Alright, so this we're going to heat up. I'm going to cut off the heat on the stove and get these tomatoes, grape tomatoes out. Like he's eating both bowls of food, I think. I don't know. Okay, our tomatoes need to come out. So the tomatoes are nice. Got some color on that. And I'm going to set them aside and then throw them into this sauce that we're going to put together right now for the mash. Okay. A little bit of oil. Actually, this pan, I think I will use for the asparagus. This one will be for the sauce. So we're heating up this pan that you see the sauce in, the braised liquid, and then in this other pan, gonna heat up. Well, since I'm only heating this up to thicken it, I'll just switch. And then that way you guys can see what I'm actually doing. Alright, a little bit of oil. I'm going to saute these mushrooms. And mushrooms absorb oil quickly and easily. And then you're going to have to let them release their the moisture. And I almost grabbed the hot tray of tomatoes with my bare hands, which would not have been good. So, yeah, the mushrooms, they release a lot of moisture, and so I'm going to cook them until the moisture is pulled out of them, and or at least get enough color that we're going to get a lot of that mushroom flavor out of them. Add the grape tomatoes. Well, I'm going to add the grape tomatoes closer to the end. I'm going to kind of make a roux a little bit. Maybe not so much a roux. I'm going to thicken it with some flour, a little bit of flour. Cook that out. Cook the flour, the raw taste out of the flour, out of that. And then add some white wine. Thicken it up a little bit. Then add the grape tomatoes at the end. And we'll hopefully get a nice, beautiful looking sauce out of that. Okay. Mushrooms. I'll kick this up to high. Alright. I've got pans and pans and pans and pans everywhere. So, let's see. We'll keep our mashed potatoes on the back burner, just keep it warm. Take a quick sip of water. I like these ribs, they're looking really good. And sauce is going to make them look really, really good. I think I might just sauce them and add them onto the plate sauced in the braised liquid. But let's see, let's get our little tasting dish and try the sauce, the braised liquid, that will be a sauce. Alright, it's pretty good, but it needs a little bit of salt. Actually, no. It comes through a little bit. I'll just add a tiny bit of salt. Okay, mushrooms. Turning this down to medium. So it's got a little kick to it, the braising liquid. I did add some red pepper flakes and then a little bit of cayenne. I didn't add much, but it's coming through at the tail end of the flavor profile. Okay, we're gonna just cook this and let it caramelize a bit. I have some garlic that I'm gonna cut up and add to this as well. Where's the garlic? There's some. So, sauce is gonna, braising liquid's gonna become a sauce. We've got our mushrooms. I'm gonna cook these and let them caramelize. I'm gonna try to get them to release their moisture first. And we're gonna add some garlic to this as well. Just chopping up my garlic. It's got a little kick on that, the end of that, the end of the sauce there is still stuck in my throat. So I've got about 4 cloves of garlic. Just gonna slice them up and have them ready to get into this pan of mushrooms. I don't want to do it now because they'll burn by the time we're ready to add the flour and turn it into a nice thick sauce. It was like basically I wanted to do something. At first I wanted to do like a gravy, but then I didn't want a gravy. Tomorrow I was thinking of doing a chicken roulade with asparagus and mushrooms and some cheese filled in the center. Something, it is a little more technical, but I figured I would do something like that just to change it up, because I mean, yeah, it is a more technical dish because you're slicing you have to flatten out your chicken and roll it up and all of that stuff. So it's I do roulades a lot with chicken, and turkey, and pork loin on the occasion. So I figured, hey, I got some. Why not get that on the screen? Well, the thing is, it looks very fancy, but again, it's on the scale of, well, with all the dishes that you can make that are fancy looking and everything, a roulade is an easy one to pull off, and it has that wow factor to it because of the kind of pinwheel effect that you can get. Okay, mushrooms cooking nicely. I've got my braising liquid is starting to bubble a little bit, so let me get a slurry for that. Every time I think of the word slurry, I think of a drunk guy, because he's slurry when he talks. Okay, got cornstarch, gonna add a little bit of water. And then yeah, roulades are fun to do. I mean, people see it and they're always impressed. Don't act like you're not impressed. Wait, we're getting some nice color on these mushrooms now. Turn on the heat a little bit. So let's grab a fork to get our slurry mixed up. Then I'm going to use my whisk to thicken up the braising liquid here. I don't need it to be super thick. So again goes the cornstarch, the slurry. I do want it and thick enough to coat the ribs and give it a nice sheen to it. And that looks pretty good. And that's right there. That's it for the sauce. Thickened up. Got my slurry set aside. Make sure we're not burning our mushrooms now. Okay, I'm going to turn on the heat. Alright, so our sauce, our braising liquid is now a nice thick sauce that we're going to apply to our ribs. We turned it down to low to keep it warm. Mashed potatoes are sitting back here. We got our, oh that fell on my shoe too. Alright, mashed potatoes are sitting back here, staying warm. Cat's gonna probably lick that later. Well, I do need this whisk again, so give it a good cleaning right now. I don't know, is there something you guys would like to see done? I wouldn't mind doing stuff that you guys would want to see me cook, or something that you'd want to see tried or anything like that. So it's fun to come up with new ideas and implement them and see whether they work or not. If you guys ever have any ideas, let me know. Because I kind of cook on the fly. When I come up with this stuff, it's like days prior. Which doesn't help a lot of people when they want to figure out what to watch. Okay, so we got that. I'm going to add the garlic. And then just cook the garlic for a little bit. Get them nice and fragrant, and then we're going to add our white wine. I don't think we're going to get much color out of this. I might actually add the white wine after the flour. I'm going to try to brown the flour a little bit just to give it some color. So the garlic's getting translucent slightly, starting to cook. I don't smell it so much yet. What's going on, Cousin Drew? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to have you. Always a pleasure to see Brother Drew here in the stream. What's going on? Glad you could join us. Alright, so the garlic is nice and fragrant now. I'm going to add some flour and start browning that a little bit. Alright, a little bit of flour. That might have been a lot of flour. Might take some of that flour out, because now it's going to be a little too much. Hey, thank you very much, Brother Drew. Let me see. I'm going to take a little bit of this flour out. How's work been? Keeping yourself busy? Alright, I'm just going to brown this flour up a little bit. Cook it and give it a nice richer taste. We've been good over here, Brother Drew. We got a lot of stuff done today. Took care of some car stuff and then did some housework we've been wanting to get done. So it's been a really productive day. Now doing this here stream to celebrate 5 years. 5 years with a bunch of ribs that I've been braising since like 1. So it's pretty good. Looking pretty good right now. Trying to cook out this flour a little bit, get some color on it, turning this into a sauce for my parsnip mash. Yeah, this is for the parsnip mash, yep. I'll add a little bit more oil to this. How's your ankle? Remember the last time we talked, you sprained your ankle. How's that doing? A cuisine that I want to learn more about. There are a lot of cuisines out there I honestly have no idea about. Nice, Brother Drew. Glad to hear it. I grew up eating a lot of Thai, Chinese, and Cambodian food. So I'm familiar with that. What I don't know, and what I've kind of wanted to really try, has been Indian food, or kind of more Middle Eastern and Australian food. Basically, any food that is not Asian or not Chinese or Cambodian or Thai. I know basic French techniques, French food, and I have that under my belt a little bit, and then the Italian food, I have basics on that. I have a lot of basics down, but I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm an expert in any of those regions at all. We gotta try to figure out doing that co-stream thing. That would be fun. I think a lot of people would like that, and I think we've got a similar size audience, and kind of the same audience, same kind of people. So I think that would be kind of fun to try to do something like that. We just gotta figure it out. I don't know the technical side of how to do stuff like that. So you can see the flour's starting to get some color. That's what we want. There are, I think, 4 stages to a roux. When you're cooking the flour, you've got your blonde. God, I can't even remember them all. Brother Drew, help me out here. You got your blonde roux. Oh God, I can't think. Well, blonde roux, and is it 4 or is it 3? It's been quite a while. Can do video and audio via Discord just has to be one person streaming. Golden and dark. See, so I think there might be three. Blonde, gold, and then there's dark. So right now we're getting past, we're slightly past blonde, which is the light roux. The more you cook it, the less thickening property it has. I might have that reversed. I don't normally cook my roux very long. But we're getting some color into there and adding a nuttier kind of taste to this. So right now, I'm going to add some white wine, change it up a little bit. And then let that thicken. White, blonde, brown, and dark brown. Alright. Four. So this is going to need a bit. They're so close for being out of school for so long and not being culinary. Alright, that's right, you took a rump, right? Alright, I'm just trying to not whisk it, but trying to just get this incorporated and smoothed out so we can add our tomato, or roasted grape tomatoes in here. Smells really good. Nice little sauce here. And add some pepper. Worked in hotels, but spent 2 semesters getting kitchen training. See, we never had. No, wait, we did have the Harump people come and learn in the kitchen with us. I just remember this one guy. He was very self-assured in all of his stuff. Very loud, very boisterous guy. And I was just trying to be friendly. I was like, hey, you're from Harump, right? Yes, I'm from Harump. I'm like, oh, how are you doing with your culinaries? I'm doing very good. All A. Everything A. I get everything right. I get everything A. I'm doing perfectly fine. It's like, whoa. Okay there, buddy. Alright, let's give this a quick taste. It's got a nice wine and garlic. Then you get a little bit of mushroom, and it's got some thickness in there. So I'm gonna add the grape tomatoes real quick. I might thin this out a little bit, but it's looking really good. It smells really good. These grape tomatoes got a lot of nice color to them. I'll wash my hands real quick. Now I'm going to heat up my other pan. See, I'm going to move our sauce. We're going to move that. Keep it warm. I'm going to move my pan for the asparagus and get that heating up because we're almost there. I'm going to add a little bit of baking and add a little bit of water to thin this out. Cut back a little bit on that wine as well. Actually, I got some chicken stock. I'm going to add a little bit of chicken stock to this. Bakery. The bane of my culinary existence. Okay, we've got all kinds of things going on right now. Got the sauce sitting there. Got our, right here we've got our, I don't know what to call this, mushroom roasted tomato sauce for our mash. Then we've got our other pan waiting to cook our asparagus. And the ribs are still sitting there braising. Those are probably really good right now. Nice and tender. Alright. It's a nice consistency. Give it another taste test. Going to bed, going on an adventure tomorrow. Thank you very much, Apesman. We're going to have a great dinner. And hopefully we'll have it soon. Because we worked up an appetite today. You have a great night and have a better tomorrow. Alright. So this sauce, we're going to set that aside now. Turn it down low. Our asparagus. Now I'm just going to switch pans so you guys can see this. Turn it onto the large setting. Let's see. I'm going to finish off the roasted tomato mushroom sauce with just a little bit of butter, because the white wine is pretty dominant in the sauce. I'm going to add a little bit of richness to it, cut back on that. And then this pan here, we're just going to add a little butter to that and get our asparagus going. And then we're going to put this all together. So we got a butter, a little bit of butter, a little bit of oil. It's going to help the butter from burning so quickly. It's going to raise the smoking point. So we're just going to layer that in there, single layer, and start cooking that. Sauce, got a little bit of butter in there. Give that a quick taste. A little bit more butter. And our sauce, let's get this ready to roll. Asparagus. We're just trying to get some color on here. Get them nice and vibrant, cooked through, but not cooked all the way too far that it's going to get soft and soggy. Okay. In our sauce, we're gonna We're going to coat our ribs in that and then plate it up. This is going to look good. Alright, just picking up a nice bit of color there. So, it doesn't take long. It does not take long to cook asparagus and get them nice and done. And get them really nice and bright too. Add a little bit of salt. Now I'm going to cut off the heat there. A little tomato, mushroom tomato sauce. Add a little bit more butter. Give it a quick taste. Alright. That's good right there. Our rib sauce. Alright, once that braising liquid comes up to temp, we're done. So now I gotta figure out the best way to put this all together. That's off the heat. We're gonna bring our mashed potato back up. It is steaming, so it's still hot. So I'm gonna plate this up and then get the camera set back over there onto the other counter. So let's see. Okay, here we go. We got our sauce is good and ready, so I'm gonna have to do this real quick. Mash is still good and hot. We'll cut that off. Okay, ribs. Let's see. Let's see how we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this and make it look nice. It's gotta look nice. Gotta look nice tonight. Tonight of all nights, we're gonna make it nice. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vegetables. Keep them odd numbers because they look pleasing to the eye. There we got our 5 asparagus spears. I'm gonna grab some mash here. See, I'm gonna switch over to this. You're not gonna be able to see me plating it right now, which I actually can do. So let me move this over. Look at that. No cat's getting the butter right now because I've got my new extension cord for my camera. Okay. Alright, so let's go with something a little like this. Got our mash back here. And I'm going to put a little bit of the, let's see, I'm just trying to get this to stand up a little bit, like that. Rib sauce. I'm going to take these ribs that I've got and quick, let me move this. Take this rib sauce I've got. Turn off the crock pot. And I'm gonna grab, let's see, how many ribs? What do we want to work with here? Alright, one. Oh, this is gonna be tender. These ribs are tender. They're not coating so much, but I'm gonna pour some sauce over them. Oh, that broke off a little bit. Alright. Let's go one. Damn. They're falling apart, they're so tender. Let's try to repair that. Oh, it's the other way around. Is it? What is now? One, two. Let's get one more of these. I'm gonna drizzle some of this sauce over the top too, so I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of messy, kind of all over the place. But the ribs are so tender, if I keep moving them, they're gonna fall apart. Well, we'll do that. Alright, now let's get our other sauce. Sauce for our mash. Thin this out a little bit more. We got it all coming together. Just need it to tighten up a little bit, this sauce, so just adding a little bit more chicken stock to it. Let it loosen up a little. Now I'm gonna get a spoon. So that I can just add this over the top of our mash. Right there. Over the mash. You guys are seeing the back side of it. Now let's get some of this sauce over the ribs. Alright, not too bad. I mean, I'll work on the colors a little bit, but let's see. Oh, and I forgot our dessert that's been sitting in here. So let's grab that out. Well, you know, the dessert is basically it's just a frozen, well, not frozen. Dang it, Brother Drew. Still got to work on my plating, but we got too many similar colors. We got shades of brown. but these ribs are super tender. I really appreciate the support there, Brother Drew. Definitely tender and soft, ready to roll. So I'm going to hand this off to Wifebot while I show you guys real quick what we're going to do with our dessert, which is easy to serve. It's been chilling right here. It's Haupia. Now I'm just going to grab this plate. Well, actually, I'll show you the dessert. All I'm going to do is run my knife through like this, make some lines, and then cut them into rectangles because that's how we had it on Maui. Not exactly perfect, but cut this, and man, I'm getting dizzy. Then when we serve it, I'm just gonna flip it over and get the nice flat presentation side on it because it'll level out. And now we have some nice pieces of Haupia to serve with our ribs. So basically that's, I gotta try one of these. I haven't had this in forever. They're so good. But see, there you go. Simple, very easy. And you guys, thank you. Every one of you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. We've got our dessert, our Haupia. Got our ribs, braised ribs, asparagus, and some parsnip mash with a tomato roasted tomato and mushroom sauce. So I'm gonna take a picture of this real quick, but you guys, I'm gonna sit down with my wife, and we're gonna celebrate, have a nice meal together, celebrate our anniversary, 5 years, 5 time. That's a wrestling reference, like I said. But really appreciate you guys stopping in and hanging out with us. It was a lot of fun, and this is gonna be so good when we eat it. So thank you again, guys. I'm gonna stop the stream here so we can enjoy the rest of our night. We've had a really long day, good productive day, but we're gonna sit down and relax and enjoy it now. So thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. Always do. Can't wait to see you guys next time. Tomorrow we're gonna do chicken roulade, and hope you guys stop in and check us out then. So Cousin Drew, Apesman, Bark Dog, thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out with us. See you next time, hopefully. If not, have a great weekend and have a great rest of your week. So remember, guys, as always, kitchen confidence starts with you. Thanks for stopping by, guys.